Good day, everyone, and to Sir Ramirez. This is Jhon Albert Rebalde from Bsie 21, and this video is my midterm presentation for our Physical Education 2 class. In this video, I will be performing a skills warm-up on badminton. But before that, we will do our previous routine warm-up, perform a basic stance, and finally, the focus of this activity, which are the 4 arm or hand strokes in badminton. Without further ado, let's go! Activity 1 is a recap of a routine warm-up. Cardio warm-up. Step forward and backward for 10 seconds. Step sideward back and forth for 10 seconds. Jogging in place for 30 seconds. This video is fast-forwarded, so to see the original video, check the caption below. High knee jog for 30 seconds. Now let's proceed to stretching. Start with Form 1A to 1B for 10 seconds. Form 2 for 10 seconds. Form 3L to Form 3R for 10 seconds each. Then Form 4L to Form 4R for 10 seconds each. Next is Form 5L to Form 5R for 10 seconds each. Form 6L to Form 6R for 10 seconds each. Form number 7 for 10 seconds. Form 8L to Form 8R for 10 seconds each. Next up, Form 9 for 10 seconds. Form 10 for 10 seconds as well. Then Form 11L to Form 11R for 10 seconds each. Let's proceed to Form 12L to Form 12R for 10 seconds each. Form 13L to Form 13R for 10 seconds each. Form 14L to Form 14R for 10 seconds each. Next up, Form 15L to Form 15R for 10 seconds each. And lastly, Form 16L to Form 16R for 10 seconds each. We're almost done with our routine warm-up. Now let's proceed to the dynamic warm-ups. First up, marching in place while swinging arms for 20 repetitions. Do a jumping jacks for 10 repetitions. Walking jacks side to side for 20 repetitions. Arm circles and shoulder shrugs for 10 repetitions. Swinging toe touches for 10 repetitions. Next, leg swings, forward and side to side for 10 repetitions. Then do hip rotations for 10 repetitions. Hip circles for 10 repetitions. Bodyweight squats for 10 repetitions. And finally, do a lunges for 10 repetitions. And we're done with our first activity. We may now rest for 30 seconds, then proceed to our activity 2. To start our skills warm-up, we need a badminton racket, rubber shoes, and sports clothing. Then we can now proceed to perform our basic stance. For defensive stance in badminton, have your legs slightly apart, knees slightly bent so you'll be a bit closer to the ground. And for doubles, have your racket laying flat in front of you to defend from smashes. For singles defensive stance, it's almost the same, but at this part, you make your racket more outward a little bit so you can reach for farther shots. For offensive stance, the key is to have your racket up and in front of you so you can time the birdie as you swing shots to be in front of you the entire time rather than lower at back where the halfway point might be above you rather than in front of you. We can now familiarize the 4 basic badminton hand strokes before proceeding to the cycles. First up, swing your racket in an upward motion executing underhand forehand for 30 repetitions. By doing so, we can register the stroke as a muscle memory, so it will be easier when we do the cycles later. Then, you may now swing your racket in an upward motion to execute an underhand backhand. Swing your racket in a downward to forward motion, executing overhead stroke. And lastly, swing your racket in a downward to forward motion, executing the backhand over arm. After this, you can now proceed to combining the strokes to create a full cycle. Now, we will just combine all the 4 strokes to create a full cycle. We'll be doing 3 cycles with 5 repetitions for each. After cycle 1, we can have a good 30 seconds rest before proceeding to the next 2 cycles. For cycle 2, just repeat what you did in cycle 1. And now we're almost done as we are on to our last cycle. To end this, we can now rest and de-stress our muscles for a good 30 seconds and go on with our next activities. Thank you for watching! No, I'll be there. No, I'll never forget that day. No, no, never.